I am Pohatu, Toa of Stone. Welcome to the BS01 podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the newly revived BS01 podcast. This is your host, Spirit. Just letting you know, if you haven't heard already, we've got some pretty exciting news. In the coming weeks, we'll be releasing exclusive interviews with the cast and crew behind Bionicle Journey to One. If you aren't already subscribed to our podcast feed, you might want to go ahead and do that so you can get the episodes as soon as they come out. If you're listening for the first time, this is the podcast for Bionicle Sector 01, the largest and most up-to-date database of Bionicle information in the world that you can look up anytime and anywhere. And if you missed episode 1, just letting you know that we are still running our theme song contest. So if you have some musical talent that you'd like to display, just email us at biosector01@outlook.com, and we will judge your entries based on creativity, originality, and if they've got that certain Bionicle special feel to them. The winner of the contest will not only have their song featured at the beginning of every podcast, they will also win the LEGO Ghostbusters Firehouse set, which retails for about $350. Given the large number of episodes we're going to be putting out in the near future, we're extending the deadline to May 1st, 2016. So make sure to get your entries in by May 1st, 2016. And good luck to everyone. And now that those announcements are out of the way, let's get started with our first interview. All right, hello everyone. I'd like to give a special welcome to our guest, Paolo Bryant. Paolo, would you like to let us know what your role is with Bionicle?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Paolo. The role I play is Pohatu, Toa of Stone.
Yes, and thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today.
Oh, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so tell me, how did you get into voice acting in the first place?
Well, sort of a sideways opportunity for me. I started training in acting for film and television about 3 years ago at the Actors Training Center of Manitoba with Jeff Skinner.
Mm-hmm.
We had discussed me taking one of his voice classes, as he does a lot of those for local DJs and voice actors in the city. And there was an opportunity. I saw an audition notice for DeCapo Productions, and I had started looking at opportunities to make a little bit of money doing some acting gigs before I was planning on moving away to Vancouver. So I went in for an audition for a role, an undisclosed role. And it turned out to be for a couple of characters on a show called Super Strikers, which is produced by FIFA. So I ended up getting a couple of roles. One was Coach Black, and the other was Johann Uber. Now, unbeknownst to me, when I did get the role, there was a 1-year contract I signed, which stated that I couldn't leave the city. So in order to be able to come into productions on time and not have to fly in from out of town. So I stayed in Winnipeg, and that's how I started getting into voice acting. And it wasn't something I'd planned. It was just something that sort of happened. But it's been an enjoyable process so far. So then that led to the opportunity to audition for Pohatu and get the role on Bionicle.
Well, it's good that everything worked out in the end there.
Yeah, it is.
Now, if you had a dream role in any TV show or movie for the role you'd like to play, what would you be?
I don't think there's anything, a specific character by name I'd like to say, but what I would like, what I've always found, the type of character that I found the most interesting was always the villain or the anti-hero. I think, there's something to be said about playing the hero role. I've never seen myself in that particular light, but I do like the idea of playing a villain or an anti-hero. I find there's a lot more depth and a lot more range that you can explore because of the nature of those characters. So there's, when it comes to acting, whether it be voice or film and television, it's always a question of, how deep do you delve into a character? And I find that that would be probably my first choice when it came to getting something on film or television.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially because the villain characters always have, well, they're the most interesting. They're the ones that make things happen. Usually the heroes are
Yeah,
reacting to whatever the villains have done.
exactly. Well, it's all about the story, right?
Exactly.
Like you said, it's villains are the ones pushing the story. They're the ones creating conflict in the story, and without conflict in a story, whether it's a short or long one, there's no room for growth for the hero or for the good guys. So to be able to be the person creating those conflicts, to be able to create those obstacles, I think is probably, in my opinion anyway, is the more interesting of the two dynamics. Yeah.
Hmm. So how long ago did you record your lines for Journey to One?
I think it was a few months ago we started. Might have been just after Christmas. I can't specifically remember. It's been a bit of a blur for me. Things have been really busy here in Winnipeg, but I think it was a few months ago, and it was over the course of those few months. It wasn't every week or anything like that. So it was, as soon as one episode we'd done, I think you'd wait 2-3 weeks and then go in for the next one and get feedback and see if there were any other ADR that you had to do or anything like that. But yeah, it was over the course of a few months, and it started about a few months ago. Yeah.
And would you like to explain to listeners what ADR is?
ADR. Oh God, it's basically when you go back into a second session after you've recorded your first session, you go back into a second session where the animation is basically already done, and you've got to match your voice to the animation. At least I think that's what it is. I can't remember offhand. I'm a little nervous right now, but in any case,
That's
I
okay.
think that's basically what it is. So you basically, yeah, you record once and then you come back for a second time if need be to re-record a voice. Maybe the voice didn't come through properly or the audio file was corrupted or whatever, and then yeah, so you go back a second time and do it again.
Would that also be for like the grunts and the exertion as your character's moving around?
Exactly, exactly. A lot of that sometimes doesn't get covered in the first session or the first two sessions. So what needs to happen is typically sound engineers they create a library of grunts. So they'll say, try as if you're lifting something. So you make the sound of you lifting something, and then you getting hit or striking a wall. So once that's done, they put it in the library, and then they don't have to call you in for a second or third session. They can just use what they have there.
And I imagine the whole thing out of context is probably very interesting to listen to.
Yeah, it's luckily I have a really good relationship with the capo. Clinton and Nolan Balzer. He's one of the sound engineers, and I worked with him. I worked with him on multiple projects, and he's always fun to work with. He always makes it interesting, and he always makes it a good, safe environment. So it doesn't sound like you're just grunting for the sake of grunting. Yeah, it can get pretty weird, I think. Yeah.
So, was Pohatu the only role you auditioned for, or were there others as well?
No, it was just Pohatu. What happens when I first was approached the Capo for the first audition? They liked the fact that I had sort of a deeper sounding voice, and as well, what they did was they had me read from a selection of audio commercials, and that way, basically, they can do an analysis of the voice, my pronunciation, my enunciation, tempo, my breathing. So what happened was is that when they got this project, they sort of shortlisted a bunch of people on their roster that were more or less fitted to what their ideas for what those characters would sound like. So yeah, it was just Pohatu. I came in. They wanted him to sound a little deeper, a little gruffer, but have a softer side as the first two episodes show.
Okay. Now, do you have a favorite line from the show that you really liked recording?
um, I do, but being that it's not in the first two episodes,
Oh,
I
okay.
can't
Don't
really
don't
talk.
tell us then.
No, no, no. It's in the later episodes, and but I did really like saying that. It was a very forceful, very powerful line, and I really enjoyed saying that one.
All right, we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Um,
Absolutely.
Now, how familiar were you with Bionicle before starting the project?
Well, as soon as I got the notice that I'd be going in, I did a little bit of research on the Bionicle characters, so the franchise itself. But they made it very clear that they wanted the actors to bring in their own fresh perspective,
Hmm.
minus of course the direction that they wanted us to go in, general direction, I should say. So you know, I did a bit of research, but you have to understand that when I was a kid, and I'm 33 years old, so when I was a kid, my favorite Legos were, you know, the knights sets and the medieval sets and
Oh
the
yeah,
pirate sets, and I used to play a lot with those. But I think the first Bionicle came out in, was it 2001, 2002?
2001.
The first set, yeah, 2001. So by that point, I was 19 and off to other things. I was busy with school and all that kind of stuff, so I didn't have a chance to really get to know the franchise. But I did a little research, and then I liked it. I thought it was a cool concept. I think it was a little different from the other Lego franchises, and that's kind of what caught my eye and helped me convince myself to keep going with the project.
Okay. Now, in doing that, did you have any trouble pronouncing some of the Bionicle names that show up in the show?
No, actually, I can't remember a time when I didn't when I had a problem with any of the any of the sorry the names. I I speak three languages, so I guess for me to be able to switch from accent to accent is fairly easy for me. But no, I didn't. I liked the names. I just liked the way they sounded. Like Pohatu sounded good to me, and representative, sort of in my mind, of the type of character that he is. And then hearing Liwa and the other characters as well. Like I don't have an issue with that, and I like the fact that they chose Umarak, the destroyer. I think for some reason, if you would have chosen a different name, a softer sounding name, probably would have been as convincing. But I like Umarak. It sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's definitely got that villain flair to it.
Yeah, yeah. Like between you and me, I would love to have played Umarak.
Hmm. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the names of the Toa actually come from the Maori language,
Okay.
and they're all related to their elements. So Pohatu is the Maori word for stone.
Oh, oh, that's fantastic. I didn't know that. That's adds a lot more depth now. Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit of trivia. Now you know.
That's I'll make sure to remember that and try to put it into the story a little bit more.
Now, did you improvise any lines that managed to make their way into the final production?
No, no, I didn't. I have an immense amount of respect for directors, for storyboard artists, for writers. So I didn't feel as though in my opinion, I didn't feel as though it needed any changes or any improvisation. And a lot of that also comes with the fact that when it comes to television shows that require voice actors, you have to be able to speak cleanly and be able to pronounce things properly. And I think as soon as you start improvising things, at times for me in any case, I get a little bit sloppy. So it's I trust the writers, I trust the directors, I trust the engineers and everything. So and I like the script, for the demographic, for people that would be enjoying this kind of thing. Yeah, I thought it was great.
So thank you, Paolo, for answering those questions. Was there anything else you wanted to let the fans know?
No, I just you're very welcome. I appreciate the support that Bionicle's gotten. I hope you guys are enjoying the episodes as much as we had fun making them. I think I can say on behalf of the cast, we had a great time. Sound engineers, the directors. It took a lot of time and effort, but you know what? We really enjoyed it, and it's great to see it on Netflix. And I enjoy reading the reviews online. And I really hope you guys keep enjoying and keep watching.
All right. Well, thank you. So now I've got a list of lines that I've sent you. I've gone to
Yes, you did.
the fandom. I've asked them what the best Pohatu lines were. Um, Sorry if your suggestion didn't make it in. I tried to get sort of the most popular ones, and I guess I'll turn it over to you, and you can read through them.
I am Pohatu. My will is solid rock.
I am here to battle evil. It is my destiny to claim my golden mask of power and become the Master of Stone. In truth, it is said that great power can be found in small packages, and that aid can come from places least expected. Adventurer, the scorpion has blinded me for the moment. It will be some time before my sight returns. Tell me where to kick the ball, and together we can destroy the Nui Yaga's nest.
I pronounced that correctly?
I think so. I mean, I don't know if it's actually ever said in the story. This is from one of the early video games.
Okay. All right, makes sense. All right, next one.
We laugh in the face of danger, but sometimes danger doesn't get the joke. Onua, my friend, it seems bashing granite is treating you well. Well done. But how did you stop the ceiling from falling on us, too? Toa? Hey, that's great. I always wanted to be a Toa. Just one question. What's a Toa? You're safe now, but don't get any ideas. I'm not looking for any pets to clean up after. You know, I've seen things crawl out from under rocks that had more class than you, Makuta. And I'm a Toa of stone. I know rocks. Yes, we know. Icon stolen, powers gone, blah, blah, blah. Old news.
All right, and for the grand finale.
It has been too long since we've had a good adventure anyway. Just, can you leave out the part with the goats? Please?
Excellent. Thank you so much. That was amazing.
You're welcome.
That's about 10 years of Pohatu condensed into 5 minutes. That was amazing.
Well, I'm glad I could. I hope to do it justice. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I'm always looking for constructive criticism, and let me know if there's anything else I can do for you guys.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me once again. And yeah, it's been a great interview.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for the opportunity. It's my first interview, so I really enjoyed it. And if you guys need anything else, you just give me a shout. You know where to reach me.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Paolo. All right, that does it for episode 2 of the newly revived BS01 podcast. Tune in next week and we'll have another exclusive interview with another part of the production team on Bionicle, The Journey to One. Until then, this has been Spirit, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.